Okay, so as soon as I started the broadcast, the DVR switch turned off. And I've got Ken on the line with me, and I can hear that he's got the sound playing through his microphone somewhere. How is that happening? I can hear an echo. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try bringing Ken on, and we'll see what we got. Okay, Ken, you're on.
Hey, Doug.
Okay, now it
That get
sounds more normal. All right.
Yeah, I had YouTube running and I just muted it, so that got rid of that.
Okay. So you did see that countdown that I had going right then, and then I don't know if you saw the session that I did with Bertland, but I've got a Google Earth thing set up, and that's why I was asking for your location.
Okay.
But I ran out of time. I hit a key wrong and my computer rebooted, and I said, okay, I'm going to let go of that. We'll just do the timer. So, Ken, you're back with us.
Yes.
I was kind of thinking we go to the email. Would that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine.
As a place to start? All right. I'm going to bring that up on my other computer here. And let's see, that you sent to me on May 6th. I'll go to that one instead of our chain. May 6th down here. Yeah, here we go. So let's see. This is not displaying your email address. I know you said that's okay, but I'm practicing. All right. Yeah, there's nothing of concern there. So, let's see, I don't think I fixed this piece yet. Let me fix a piece here in the production. I'm going to do this on split mode so that I'm not showing my work. Yeah, because there's that. I need to turn the Zoom meeting on in that view and turn that single picture-in-picture off and fix the border. And just about done there. Okay, so go back to, go back to classic mode workspace. And there's that. And then here, let's see, it looks like I just gotta, make that a little bit bigger. This is what my junior high school math teacher said is showing my work. Let's move that down there a little bit. Okay, so, that's kind of teeny tiny, isn't it? Let's do Control+ sign to zoom in on any web page. And maybe close down this contacts panel, make that bigger, and even, let's see, I think it's this one collapses. No. Back to inbox. There's some way to collapse that panel out there. Oh, here. Yep, that's it. So that makes it a little bit bigger and easier. And let's see, we can close this little remote window there and move us down here. Okay, so I unhooked the hard disk drive and rehooked up the SSD to use as boot. Works just fine. I then rehooked up the hard drive disk for data storage and usage only. I linked the SSD desktop to the desktop of the HDD, and it works fine as well with a few exceptions. And then some of the picture folders work right away. Some I have to go and reset permissions, allowing or rather enabling inheritance. Then they work fine as well. Since I've not found or figured out how to do this to the entire contents of the folder, I'm doing them one by one, which is fine, allowing me to find duplicates of things. Second item, the only thing I'm really stumped on is when I used the hard disk drive for everything, somehow I had an icon in the taskbar to access my Google Chrome calendar, which I use to record my sugar readings. I cannot figure out how or remember how I did that. So for now, I just get online, open Google Calendars, and that works. So for now, I can do that. Okay, I think we're going to be able to cover 1 and 2 just fine. I would like to spitball something with you, or think on paper, so to speak. Once I have all the data folders accessible and working from the SSD, can I delete the Windows files that are on the hard disk drive? I know this will just free up space. I asked because I went to BIOS to see if there was a way to set up a key to boot from a specific disk and could not find one. My motherboard is a P6T by Asus and the processor is from what I can tell, a first generation i7. Sorry for the novel, I tend to get carried away. Your novel is fun. I don't mind reading a bunch of stuff. Again, thanks for your help. Okay, so, and that one we'll take care of too. And I'm sure there's some in the chat that are going to be saying how they want to do it. So I'm going to keep quiet on how I'm thinking of doing it, and we'll see what suggestions they come up with.
We can strike number 2. I did figure that out. I do now have Google accessible from my desktop.
Okay.
So that was just me not thinking properly.
Okay, but why don't you, since this is an educational video, why don't you go ahead and teach the audience what you did?
Okay, I'm going to, you going to bring up my full screen? I'm going to minimize YouTube and everything, so I really can't see what's going on, but.
I'm on my email. Sorry, I forgot that. Yeah, let me get to your screen. Okay, so here's your screen.
Oh, can't move the mouse at the same time. Okay, so as you see, I got my grandchildren back. That took me a minute to figure out too, which that again was a Google thing. So once I realized that, I'm going to go ahead and shut down the task manager. I have noticed since I've done this, CPU runs at a very good speed. Memory stays real consistent. Both disk drives hardly ever run at all. Okay. I don't know why it's saying I've got a USB disk in. I don't. Well, yeah, I do. I have a Western Digital. I don't know what. It's just a storage drive. Anyway, so I'll close that. So, so we can all see what's going on. I should have done this earlier. Black's fine.
Yeah. So
all these function just fine. When I first moved them over here, I would have to go in there and change the permissions, enable something. I don't remember what it's called right now off the top of my head. The first thing I did was I brought over OBS Studio. I didn't have to change anything with that, and it worked just fine. With Vegas Pro down here, it wouldn't work. All I did was copy and pasted from the program's file from the hard disk drive and just pasted it into the program's file of the solid disk drive, and it works just fine too. So in a sense, I have built my computer without building a computer, because I'm only going to do this with what I was going to use the new one for. The question that I can't solve yet is, and I don't remember which one of these I need to do, but I'll just pick one here. Okay, it looks like those are all good with the exception of maybe, I think these are all live iPhone. Let's see. Yeah, that's what that is. So is there a means or a way that you can change when you come in here and you go into properties, go to security, go to advanced, where you can enable the inheritance for the entire contents of the folder rather than having to do each individual file that's within the folder?
Well, let me take a look at something. My thinking was distracted a little bit through part of what you were doing, so I want to be sure I understood this right. Those pictures and videos you just showed us are on your F drive, okay?
Correct.
And they're in a pictures folder.
Right. They're on that folder we created last time, the desktop data.
Okay. They're in the users folder in your profile folder for the F drive. Now, when you click on pictures up here, I'm guessing you don't see them. Yeah.
Right. No.
So I'm wondering if we go to properties here and tell your computer that your pictures, your system pictures folder is actually located on the F drive, if that'll just fix all of those for you.
Oh, okay. I could have done that instead of doing what I did.
Instead of doing all that futzing around, yeah.
Okay.
So here you've got the users, KNL is your new profile name on this drive, and the pictures folder, and I'm guessing there's nothing in here. So by way of education and demonstration, I'm gonna make it clear to the viewers that this pictures up here in the quick access is essentially a pointer. It's not, doesn't look like a shortcut. It's not really the same as a shortcut, but it has some similar characteristics. And that would match with this pictures folder down here, which also is kind of misleading because that's not actually where it's located. The content of that folder is actually located on the C drive in the users folder in your profile. Here's K&L, so I'm going to expand K&L, and then here down here is a pictures folder. So this is actually the native location where those files are stored. If we add a file here and then come back up here and click on pictures up here, we're going to see it. So this up here is essentially just a pointer to this pictures folder that is actually stored in this location. And there's no content in here that we care about.
Nope.
So if we come up here to the quick access and right click on pictures and then choose properties and then choose location, we can move the locations of your pictures quick access. Now we're not trying to, we're not trying to move
target.
We're not trying to move any content, and it's not going to be find target.
Really?
No. If we click on find target, what that does is that just takes us to this location that it's already pointing to.
Okay.
So that, coming back up here again, properties, location. So find target is just going to open Windows Explorer to this location that you already have set. So we weren't interested in doing that. But we're going to go move, and then we're going to go browse to the new location that we want to be used for the pictures system folder. And I'm calling it a system folder. I don't know that Microsoft officially calls it that, but it has some system characteristics. So then expand the users folder on your F drive, and then your profile on the F drive was that KSTOU.
Right.
And then go to that pictures folder. So now there's those pictures. Now we're not actually seeing pictures in here now, even though we know that there are pictures, because what we're doing now is selecting a destination. Okay, individual picture files cannot be a destination, so they're not being displayed to us.
Okay.
So folder pictures is what we want to select. So here I'm going to click on select. So now we see here that it has that new path that we want. And then click OK. It's going to ask if we want to move all the files from the old location to the new location. In this case, we do not. It wouldn't cause any harm if we did, because there's nothing there. There was those two empty folders. So we recommend moving all the files so that programs needing access to the folder's content can do so. We don't need to do that because there's no content there. So I'll answer no. So then that window closed down. So now if we click on pictures and quick access, it should show us all of that content that's on your F drive.
And there it is.
Okay? And those traffic cones looks like they're going away. Are they?
No, they're still there. That's just when you do on the iPhone, if you do a live picture, like I believe if you click this one right here, that's going to be the cheese that molded. I was showing my mom because she's all the time telling me molded cheese is okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. So that's, if you go back to the right, or I'm sorry, to the left one, this is the still picture. Live picture does like a 3-second picture. I hate it. I really do.
Yes. I just had that happen yesterday with my phone where the live thing turned on.
Yeah.
And so then I went to my iCloud on my computer. It was for those the pictures of the fire that I showed in my last, or a couple times ago, my Tech Talk or Tech Tales video. Because an office building next door to my client's building burned down. So I showed
Oh,
some
wow.
pictures of that. So that's why when I pull those over, I saw those MOV files and go, oh, geez.
I find it's easier to use VLC. It'll open anything. So I
Yeah.
set everything for that.
Yeah, but I don't think I get the traffic cones on my computer. And so I'm thinking that's because Windows on my computer knows how to display MOV files. So if we go right click on one of these MOV files and choose Open With and choose another app, and I see VLC Media Player is the traffic cone, but it should be able to give us a thumbnail then. It's doing VLC Media Player. Is anyone saying that? No. Movies and watch it all. Okay. So let's see, that's VLC Media Player. We'll play it. So let's just go ahead and experiment with this. Choose another app. If we say always use this app and we change to something else, try Windows Media Player. Oh, and it gives us that icon.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's still a generic icon. How's Windows Media Player, photos, movies, and TV. I don't know if any of these will do it, and I'd have to go back and look at my own to see if any of mine actually give those. You might actually prefer to have the traffic cones because that's going to show you which ones you need to delete.
Right, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm in the process of doing.
Yeah, so we'll set that back. Just a little venture down changing default application for files. So I'm going to take a look over here at chat and get caught up because I haven't looked at chat at all since we got started. And we got that little thing with DVR determined is once I start the live stream, it changes it turns off the DVR function. I'm going to have to turn it on every time. Let's see, Ken and I had a few back and forth, and then Goat asking about the DVR. Tony says, hi all, hello Tony Wallow, and Guard Tactics, hello. Bertland, got the notification on my phone. Happy Mother's to all the mothers watching. Yes, absolutely. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I sent a Happy Mother's Day message to my daughter. And to my mother, she passed away, but we send it to my brothers. We send to our group session, Happy Birthday, Mom. So it's our way of remembering her. And then we've got, let's see, some more hellos. ATAX, Dan the Man, hello. Alda Rivera, hello. And Blackwatch. Blackwatch, Ken, copied programs from Hdd to program folder in Windows. I got that wrong, I do hope. So he's asking a question that was on my mind. Did you tell us that you copied those two programs from the F drive to your C drive and they work without installing?
Right. I'm going to go ahead and close this out.
Go ahead.
And close this one out. This one I went ahead, the first time I did my experiment, I did do that and it worked just fine, but this is actually a truly downloaded version, fresh version of OBS Studio.
Meaning you installed it.
Meaning I installed it. Went to the website and downloaded it and installed it.
Okay,
correct.
Great.
Now,
Great.
Vegas Pro right here,
Mm-hmm.
I went over here to my F drive. I went in here and found it right here.
Yeah.
And I just right-clicked, copied, came back up here. I do things so silly sometimes. Reopened this, went back to here, went to programs, found me a space, pasted it, and works just fine.
Okay. Some programs will do that, and you might find some features within the program don't work right. Yeah, but most Windows programs need to be installed. If it works and you don't mind that there might be some functionality missing, don't care.
Right, yeah. If I can run across it, then I'll obviously just
Then you do
re-download
the
it.
installation. Yeah. So
Sure.
then that was at 4:10 in the chat. Continuing. Vivian, hi Doug and all. I'm going on a bus trip for 1 hour 30 minutes watching YouTube. She's watching on a bus. Okay, cool. HX, I turned the live pictures off. So annoying and a waste of phone storage. Oh yes, absolutely. That live pictures on an iPhone is that. On mine is that, what's it look like? Kind of a star, isn't it, at the top of the camera? And it just seems to turn itself back on. I turn
Every
it
time
on.
you update.
Yeah, it's this little round radio or circle thing at the top, and I don't think that camera's gonna autofocus. But anyway, when it's yellow, it's on, it's active. So you gotta touch it so that it's white and it's got the slash line through it.
Right.
So it turns off. Because with it on, it takes a still photo and it takes a couple of seconds of video.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a waste of space.
Yep, it is.
I'd like it to be more.
Not to mention, it can be frustrating when you want to see the still picture and you get the video picture.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And the sound with it. Then let's see. Sane Goat, Vic, the Swiss Army knife of VP. Oh, VLC, not Vic. He's VLC. He's calling it the Swiss Army knife of VP.
Yeah.
VP. Video players. Video players. Is that what VP is? And then Paul says, hello, everyone. Tim Sal says, hello, everyone. Paul says, all depend if they were set up to be able to run as standalone. Yeah, he'd be referring to whether you can copy programs across from one drive to another like that. Blackwatch to Paul. Hey, buddy, how are the prairies today? Dan Nilsson. Hi, Doug and chat from Sweden. Hi, Dan. Good to see you here. Sane Goat, hello Paul, 1961 and Tim. Paul says not too bad, hate this lockdown. Okay. Whoops. Oh, here I go scrolling up and down, losing my place. Okay, 421. All right. So, where are we at with your list? We talked about the programs you copied.
I think the only thing we need to cover that I don't know is if I come in here to this, which now my data drive, my hard disk drive, can I delete Windows right here and this Windows and that Windows and that Windows?
Yes, but I think we got a better way, because the reason why you're wanting to do this is so that your computer automatically boots to the correct drive. Is that right?
It does anyway. It automatically boots to the solid state drive. Yes.
Okay.
I actually restarted it about 6-7 times looking for a way to make it boot from a specific location. My neighbor come over and we looked at everything in BIOS and there's just nothing there. In fact, I meant to take pictures, but I didn't.
I'll show you the direction I want to go with that. And I don't think it would be in BIOS, because BIOS is only going to let you choose what drive technology to boot from first.
Oh, okay.
But if we do Windows key R and then type msconfig, enter, that gets us over here to boot. So here's it showing your current OS, and I'm seeing there is not a second bootable. So safe modes, advanced options, no GUI boot, set as default. You don't have that choice available because there is no second bootable drive, which tells me it's already not recognizing the second drive as being bootable. But your interest was perhaps in saving space.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So you were looking around in BIOS for a way to tell it what device to boot from. This is telling me there's only one bootable device. Did you ever find, at one point I had suggested that you connect both drives so that you could select which one you want to boot from at startup time. Did you ever try that?
Not, well, yes and no. Right now, both drives are hooked up. One of them's in port 0 and one of them's in port 1. I don't know any other way to hook them up together other than that.
No, that's it. That's it. But were you able to boot from the hard
No.
disk drive while the solid state is connected?
No, it automatically, when I start the computer, it automatically fires up the solid state drive.
Okay. I haven't done a whole lot of experimenting with this, but my sense of it says if your computer detects, oh no. This might just be if there's another partition on that drive that's bootable, it would show up in here, or some other multi-boot. I've got to plead that I have not played around with this, but I would be curious to know if you were to use the function key for your motherboard that allows you to choose which drive to boot from, can you select the SSD to boot from?
Do you know what key that? Oh, you mean like? I don't have that key. I know what you're talking about. I do not. Yeah, the only key I have is to go into BIOS, and that's it.
No, it would be F9 or F12 or something.
Yeah, no, I have delete to go into setup, and I have I think it's tab to show line by line what it's doing. Other than that, I cannot do a specific. I want to boot from a USB. I want to boot from this drive. I want to boot from. I don't have that. It's really odd.
You don't have it, or you don't know that you.
No, I don't have it. It's not. I've had this computer now going on 6 years, and I've looked and looked and looked.
What was your motherboard again?
P6T, I think. P6T.
And what make is that?
Asus, ASUS.
Okay.
It's old.
Can somebody in chat look that up? P6T Asus motherboard, and see if you can find what function key allows the multi-boot. Because I really want to know that. we can.
I do too. Actually,
we can let you test that, because I'm not aware that there's any motherboard that doesn't have a way to do it. I do know that it can be challenging to find it. Hey, another thing that I want to let chat know, an idea that came to me recently. I see some people saying probably F12. I'm asking, can somebody look it up? Harambe says F12. And Tony says F12. I'm going to assume that they actually looked it up. So you have an F12 key on your keyboard?
I do.
And do you have to hold down an FN key to activate F12, or the function keys default?
No, it's just they're by themselves. I just did F12.
Okay, so we're gonna try that, and when we do that, you're in Zoom through the computer, so we're gonna lose you on Zoom, and we're gonna lose the computer image. So the only way we're gonna know is for you to get the computer back started up on the SSD and connect again to the Zoom session. So that means I'm asking you to reboot the computer, use the F12 key just to see the boot menu. You don't actually have to boot to the hard disk drive to have answered the question. So you just go ahead.
Right. I'm reading an article here. I just Googled on my phone. It says every computer provides a way to enter the BIOS or CMOS. If F10 opens a boot menu, your setup key is F2. So I'll try F12. If that doesn't work, we'll see.
Yeah, so, you're not trying to get into setup.
No.
Understand that.
We want to recognize the other boot drive.
We want to get right to selecting a boot drive, and even if the computer doesn't recognize the hard disk drive as being bootable, you should still be able to get the boot menu, even if you only have one device that you can boot from. It should still display that menu for you.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then once it does start back up, everything will reconnect?
The remote session will reconnect, but not Zoom. You'll have to launch the Zoom.
Okay.
I can launch it for you, but you did this through the web browser, so I think that, well, let's do this. Here's your, I'm going to open your Google Chrome. That's going to show us the Zoom session. And I think, oh no, that's the YouTube. Here's the Zoom session. So I'm clicking in the address bar for the Zoom session, Control C for copy. Then on the desktop, right click, choose New, Shortcut. And then location of the item, I press Control V to paste that link. And then for the name of the shortcut, Doug's Zoom. I don't know if this works with Zoom, but if that doesn't work, then you go back the normal way.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see, I just closed. Oh, I just lost you. I didn't mean to drop him at that point. So let's go over here. And I'm going to go ahead and initiate the restart. Now, hopefully he's on board with what's about to happen. Boom. There he goes. Off and away. That was probably a little more abrupt than he was expecting. So here, chat, the idea that came to my mind was we had a situation back a few videos ago where the stream stopped running. So my notion was if one or two of you would be willing to take my cell phone number, you could text me to get my attention, or if there's other things that I have not paid attention to. Now, does YouTube still have private chat that you can click to have a private chat? I'm clicking on the kebab menu. Let's see, there's pop-out chat. Oh, participants. Click participants, and then click on a participant's name. I'm not seeing a way there to do a private chat anymore, do I? All right, so if anyone's willing to do that, send me an email, DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com, and I'll send you my cell phone address back, cell phone number back, and you can send me a text message to alert me to something that is escaping my attention. If you're willing to do that, that would be most helpful. So let's see, it's got an update. So F12 did not bring up anything, he says. Yeah, he did that in chat. Okay. So he's connecting there. And I'm thinking he may have missed the F12. Let's see, he doesn't know the meeting code here. Okay. Here he comes, and you're back. So, do you hear me, Ken?
I do.
Okay, so I saw your message that said the F12 didn't do anything. Is it possible that you missed the precise moment for F12?
Oh, no. No.
No? Okay, well, I'm going to let go of that now then.
In fact, I was going to actually not connect right away. I was going to restart it and take a picture to show you what the thing shows at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, when it gives you, it tells you at the bottom of the screen what things you can press?
Right.
Okay, so when that screen comes up, I have seen that if you press the escape key, some motherboards, that screen will stay there longer, giving you a chance to select. But so none of those were a boot menu or
no
boot choice.
I have two choices: delete or tab, and that's it.
Delete or tab.
Mm-hmm.
Delete would be to get into setup.
To set up, right?
And tab would be for what?
I believe if I remember correctly, when I did that one time, it shows you line by line what the computer's doing as it starts.
Oh, like a verbose mode.
Right.
Yeah, there's, or what's that other word they use for it?
Something about logging.
Logging, boot logging. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to let go of that then. We'll come back to your computer here. And let's see. So you are okay. So let's get back to the subject you were asking about deleting the Windows folder. So really the reason for being interested in doing that is to save some space. So I got an alternate idea about that may do a better job of that. So I'm looking here to see, I know your SSD is on the smaller side. It's a 193 gigabytes free. And your pictures, this should be giving us what's actually on the F drive. Yeah, shows right there, F users. So I went into your C drive profile, selected pictures, and it's counting up the F drive. So 85 gigabytes. So those pictures could fit temporarily on your C drive. Do you also have documents on the F drive?
Probably.
So what I'm getting at is I'm speculating, what if you could temporarily copy the pictures, videos, and whatever else you care about either to the C drive or to an external drive, and then reformat the F drive so it's really clean and fresh and empty, and then copy your content back. Would that be of interest? Or would
Yeah,
you
let me write myself a note on that.
That's more, that's more work, that's more labor.
Well, yeah, it'll probably take forever to move the pictures themselves.
Yeah, that's the same thing. So how are we doing on space on the F drive anyway? Looking at that.
Well, I've got.
Oh,
Check this.
geez. Oh, no. I don't see any reason to bother with that. You're not, unless you want to go through that extra labor for the experience of it. I think you're fine just deleting the Windows folder and probably most things other than that profile folder. I would, if it were me, I would have some kind of a backup first. But I
could do that.
I don't feel strongly about that. Let's see. I got to get.
Can I copy the entire F drive at one time over to an external drive? Is that possible? It's going to take a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time, and the catch there is if it glitches on anything, you have to start the whole thing over again.
Okay.
So if I were going to do that, I would use a program like Hdd Backup. It's primarily a backup program, but it does native file storage. It doesn't do any compression unless you ask for it. But it will just copy things over, and if it glitches, it's going to give you more opportunities to recover from the glitch. And also, if you just have to start the process over again, it's not going to recopy everything that's already there.
Okay.
Another thing that you could do is X copy from a DOS prompt rather than from Windows File Explorer is another way that's a little more fault tolerant, but I still not crazy about that either. So now you're proposing that or asking about that as a form of backup, right?
Right. I got a docking station. I've got a 6 terabyte drive. I could back everything up to that just in case something were to go wrong.
Yeah. Do you have any backup software already?
No.
All right.
Go easy on me, room. Go easy on me.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Oh, I forgot. You told me not to ask that question.
Oh,
No.
no, that's fine. As a matter of fact, one of these days, I don't know if the camera's picking this up or not.
I'll switch you
I
to.
have to send this out to $300 data recovery
Oh,
and get my pictures off of it, because this was a USB external drive that fell about 1.5 feet on the carpet and it locked it up.
all right. Yeah, yeah. I think $300 data recovery makes sense because they can disassemble it, and it sounds like you.
It's been a while. I'm in no hurry.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Looking back at chat, let's see. Yeah. Atex is also speculating, asking whether you missed the F12, but I think he asked that before you responded to my question on that. ZVI Manor, can you write model motherboard? I think we've already done enough search for the that it is supposed to be F12. Oh, somebody did respond with P6T Asus, yeah. Boot menu, ZVI Manor saying boot menu could be F8. I think we've gone down that road far enough because that was only curiosity. We don't need it. We don't need to answer that. Paul's saying this program is free and it works great, even to do a clone back up or full. So another backup or clone program. So now you could just do the copy across to the external drive as you were proposing and see if it works. But really, all you care about is your data content.
Right.
Right. So if you're interested in the handy backup option, we can go there now to get you started on it. And
Yes,
that's a
would be good.
free. It's free, and it's a native file structure backup. Now the other one that ZVI posted, or let's see, no, Paul posted, backup or full. He does say it's free, but didn't specify that it's a native file format. So we'll just go ahead with handy backup. Now let's see. I recently did. Yeah, the paid version for handy backup I do use in some of my client installations, and I think my recent journey down that road confirmed that they still have the free version for personal use. The most significant reason why aside from just it's the right thing to do when it's a business environment, is that with the paid version, it will send emails of successful backups. So here's free download. Try it for 30 days. But there's another that's free forever. And like some of these, I hope I'm saying that right.
Right. I was going to ask if it's only good for 30 days. If my computer crashes at 33 days, am I going to be able to recover it?
Well, actually, I think the try it free is for their full version. So I think the personal use is free forever. I think they even have, you know what? I did see this recently. They even have a version that is free for business forever. But it's hard to find it. They don't make that easy to find. They don't shout that out, you know?
Right.
So download handy backup. And I think what I wound up finding is it's the questions when going through it. Does this scroll down? Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead here. Let's see. Then Paul says it will clone a hard drive as you see it. Yeah, but cloning a hard drive means you'd lose everything else that's on the target drive. And it would be even bootable. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so that's not really what we're looking for. It would work. It would work fine, but this direction, I know what I'm dealing with pretty well. So here's the wizard. Set up, close other applications, change recommended. Now here's one of those things you gotta read this fine print. And I just think that sometimes people are going to see me reading fine print as I go through things and say, just click the button. Well, no, I want to change this in the recommended installation settings. Sometimes when you go look at that, you'll find that there's other bloatware that they're trying to install. So
Right.
that's not the case here. This is just 32-bit versus 64-bit. So that wasn't a big deal. But I try to look these over pretty thoroughly before moving on. Okay, single machine editions. Handy Backup Standard, Professional, Small Business, Single Machine Editions. So that's what we want. Enter your email for trial version. So we're not going to do that. I'm actually going to tell it not to run Handy Backup yet. We could, that would be okay to do. So I'm going to go finish without putting an email address. So understand what I'm expecting this to say is that if we're not putting an email for a trial, then we're not getting the trial version. We're getting the free forever version.
Right.
Installation survey. Now that I've completed that, I'll close it. And then we'll minimize some things. And then there it is. Now this is either going to make a liar out of me or it's going to do what I'm thinking that it's going to do, meaning let us get in with the free version. So here it says unregistered version will expire in 29 days. Doesn't say trial version, it says unregistered. And my recollection is that after the 29 days, this message goes away and the program continues to function.
Okay.
So then we're doing a new backup. Choose backup type. Now, backup is going to be a good choice for us. Sometimes I'll use sync, and I would use sync if you're going to be making changes on the source disk and you want to update those changes to the backup drive instead of doing a whole new backup. You might be interested in that.
Yeah, right now just backup's fine.
Backup's fine. Okay.
Yep.
Then there's advanced mode. If you need all options, backup method, versioning, advanced scheduling, email notifications, etc. I don't see that we need that. Yeah. Next. So select what to back up. We're wanting to back up the F drive, right?
Right.
To your external. And do you have that connected yet?
I'm grabbing it. I can't remember which one it is. Is it this one? Nope, that one don't work right. Yeah. Well, I heard the noise, but I don't see it anywhere.
That's okay. This hasn't done a refresh yet, and this we're selecting the source here,
Okay,
not the destination. So we
there
don't
it
need
is.
that yet. All right. All right. I'm gonna close that for now. So now we could remove some check marks if we don't want to bother with some of the stuff that we know you don't care
The
about
only thing I
backing up.
question is the $ recycle, $Windows, and $BT, and $Windows WS,
Yeah.
and $region.
Yeah, those are all hidden system files, and you're certainly not going to want to go drag any of those back to your F drive. So the purpose of this form of backup is not to recover a bootable drive. It's just a straight file system backup.
Right.
So like even this found, that would be from an undelete operation or a file recovery operation probably. No point in doing that. The Windows folder with all the Windows program, do you want to take that or not?
It won't be bootable, right?
No, it's not going to be bootable. So
So if
I
something
just,
were to happen, I'm going to have to. No, that's fine. I don't need Windows.
okay. And system volume information is where system restore files are stored. So that's not going to do you any good. Probably many of these others we could lose too. But for sake of moving forward, ready to move forward?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay there. Now we're selecting, let's see, what to back up. New task wizard. What does it do? This is still select what to back up. Oh, this is just telling us what we have selected. Okay. And it's giving us more deals. So like we even got the page file sys. That's pointless to back up. But we're just not going to take the time to go further with that now. Select where to store your backup. So this is where we're going to select the destination. So let's see, we're on computer there. Let's collapse the C drive so we can see your other drives. I don't remember what drive letter it came up as. This one?
No, that's my Western Digital
All right.
thing.
Do you use G?
Yep, that's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Do you want a subfolder for this backup?
If we can put it in a specific folder, yes, that would be great.
Okay. Let's go ahead and create a new folder here. Let's see. So this is Hdd Backup. For now, I'm going to shorten this up a little bit. Because this does a file system backup, if you have some really long path names on your original hard disk drive, and then it copies over to here with a couple of extra levels of paths that it's going to put inside this folder, you can get to a point where we get an error message that says the path file name is too long.
Okay.
So you can come back and make that folder name more user-friendly if you choose to later. Okay, so it was the G drive. Click on that and go down, click on that folder name. That shows where we're going to delete the contents of destination. And then next. Now, we're not going to keep the live stream going during this whole backup. So
Right.
at some point here, we're gonna stop this procedure and see if there's anything else we want to talk about before we're ready to end the session. So I'm looking back at chat. Let's see. My note says I left off at 4:21. So hello Paul, not too bad. Harambe, you need to turn off live photo under settings, camera, preserve live photo. Oh, hey, that sounds like Harambe's telling us how to turn that live photo off permanent.
I'll have to catch that when I watch the rebroadcast.
Oh yeah, you're not seeing it now, are you?
No,
Well,
that's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
gonna let's see, under settings, camera. I wanna both verify that and get it done. There's camera under settings, and then he says preserve settings, and then there's a live photo. There's a slider switch to turn live photo off. Sweet. Harambe, thank you.
My live photo is green, so I should turn that to
Your
not
live
green.
photo's green. Yeah, turn it to not green. So did you follow
Okay.
through as my description?
Yeah, I was basically following you. But now, is there a way to keep that? I mean, that'll stay that way once I leave it?
Yeah, because that's what that option was called. It was called
Okay.
preserve settings.
Oh, that turned it back on.
What
Now
turned
my
it back
circle.
on?
Now my circle here. Let me take a quick picture and see.
Oh, maybe.
Yep.
Okay, so turn the live feature off and then go back into settings and say you want to preserve the current state of that. Maybe that's what that means.
Camera. Preserve settings. Oh, preserve the last mode, such as video rather than automatic. That's not it.
Preserve
Control.
the live photos.
Preserve
Okay,
the live photo setting rather than. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you have to turn it off and then go. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so if I go back into camera and I turn it off on the camera, then I go into settings, go to camera, and preserve it, that'll do it.
Yeah. So mine was set green, so that meant it was preserving the live photo setting. So every time I turned off live photo on my camera, it turned back on because this thing was set to turn it back on.
Now I'm good to go. I have the circle with the line through it, so that's good. And we'll take a picture. Yep, good. No live.
Yeah, that was not quite.
Thank you ever set us that. That was great.
Yeah, that was Harambe. So yeah, good.
So while you're checking the chat, I'm going to go start my dinner. I got to start it right at 7, and that's in 3 minutes. I will be right back if that's okay.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Let's see. So Blackwatch says, "Hey Dan, wow, you must be late at night there." Blackwatch says, "Paul, yes, lockdown here. You can't enter here nor we there." Paul, Windows will usually default to port 0. I don't know what you're referring to there. Maybe SATA port 0 that Windows defaults to for booting. Dan Nielsen to Blackwatch. He's at 1:26 a.m. Wow, Dan. Thank you for being with us. Paul says probably F12 for boot. Some more F12s for boot. YouTube stopped PM's private messages many years ago. All right, well, I'm in the dark ages. Definitely F12 for his motherboard. Okay, I wonder if he missed it. Still could be. Well, how did I go back further than I've already read some of these. Boot menu could be a fate. Clone a hard drive. I went way back too far. Do not need the backup program you did the copy with from Viv. Alan, hello from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Hello, Alan. And Paul, hello from Winnipeg. Alan, say hi to Paul. Hi. Dan, do you listen to Chris? Do you listen to Chris Clafford? Yes, he's great. Great voice. Saying hi. Dan, hi Dan from the opposite side of the planet. Doug, usually on 2 a.m. here. I think I'm on 2 a.m. Viv's time when I am 10 a.m. here. She, at this point that we came on now, I think she's just starting her day with breakfast time in Australia. Black Watch cold at the altar. Remember when I tried to buy a Gibson SG like his, cannot find one here. Viv says it's 10 a.m. there right now. And Mike Paradin says hello. Hi Mike, glad to see you here. And so that's 4:59 p.m. I want to take a look back at your email, Ken, and see if we covered everything.
I think we have. Let Black Watch know we had 13 eggs today. We're still working on the grilling this summer.
Yeah. All right, so there's the HD, there's the pictures folder, permissions, your documents, quick access. Do you want that to point to the?
I can do that. I understood how to do that.
All right, fine. The pictures folder, HD, Google Chrome. You got that figured. Data folders accessible. Delete Windows files. Yeah. Yes. BIOS key, right? Yeah, so we covered everything on your list. One of the reasons why I want to do that is because in my session with Bertland yesterday, I realized afterwards we did completely forget one piece. And I think I saw him in the chat. Bertland, you're here, aren't you? Yeah, guard tactic. I saw him in the chat. He was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still with us. But yeah, we didn't talk about the laptops and the battery issues. So I was thinking I might just shoot out a Windows Fix Tips video about that, because I do have some help for you on that, I think. So I think we're done here. Shall we get this backup started and then end the live stream?
That'll be fine, and I'll shoot you an email and let you know how many hours it takes.
Yeah, right. So here's a next. We don't want to compress and we don't want to encrypt, because by not selecting those, we're keeping them in native format. We don't need to protect them with a password.
Right, no.
So then we go next. We don't need to schedule it. We just want to go ahead and run it. And then,
although in 29 days and 23 minutes, if that goes away and I still have the ability to do it, I probably should schedule at least a monthly backup, shouldn't I? Everyone in chat room goes, yes.
Yeah. but not a backup just of your F drive.
No, change it to what I want to back up.
Yeah, and since you have such a huge external drive, I'd suggest you'd get onto image backup of your bootable drive so that you can recover a full bootable image. And if you're not aware of how to do that, the free method of doing that I have videos for is with now you're pushing the limits of my brain power, I guess. What is that program I keep talking about? Help me out, chat. I know some of you know it because you don't like it. There's a lot of the people in the chat love Acronis, and
right.
The only reason why I'm not going there is they don't have a free version for personal use. And this other one, Macrium Reflect. Macrium Reflect has a free version for personal use. And we did a video with, we did one with Tim Sowell, and there was another one recently that we used it for, but I'm not going to pull that off the top of my head. So here, let's go back to here. You could name the backup task. So this is backup to computer. That's a very uninformative. This task is backup F drive to G drive. That was F drive, correct?
Right. Yes.
All right. And then we're going to execute this immediately and click finish. And so here's the main interface for Hdd Backup, and here's this 0% progress so far. And down here we see what it's actually working on. Right now it's working on calculating data size.
Right.
So you'll see activity happening down here. You'll see a progress graph here. And I think we can give a better share of this screen. Not that it's important to watch that. Let's see, Dan the Man, yeah, he gave a Macrium Reflect. Going back to 459, let's see, Blackwatch. Ken, I've got my, Cathers? Cathers? C-A-T-H-E-R-S? What's that? That's some kind of a food. I'm guessing for the barbecue?
Could be.
Capers?
Caper, yeah. That is a food.
I know that's a food. I'm not even familiar with it.
Yeah, we're real simple here. We'll just grill the chicken and.
All right. And
some
then,
of it will be barbecued, some of it won't be. For the diabetics in the world, raise your hand. That'd be me.
So
that was a life-changing experience 2 years ago.
Oh, that's how long ago you got diagnosed?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's not a fun time.
Nope.
Okay, so finishing out chat. Viv says good show. Dan the Man saying Macrium Reflect was the software name I couldn't think of. Dan Nielsen says at Blackwatch, I'm not a musician, but I know about Gibson guitars. I presume that's what Cliff are using. Blackwatch, Ken, I have got my catcher's mitt on. Point to 2 p.m. toss hard. I'll catch him. So that's what not Cathers. He was saying catcher's mitt. That's what he was after. Dan Nielsen, Doug, can't Carrie sponsor you with Acronis? I'm not interested in being sponsored by Acronis, but thanks for the suggestion. Viv, I laughed out loud and got some strange looks on the bus. Oh, as she was watching the video. Okay. So this has still not got past the 0%. So I think this is a good place for us to go ahead and say goodbye to everybody.
That'll work.
All right. So you want to just look them in the eye at the camera and say goodbye to the chat for me?
Thank you very much, Doug. Thank you, chat. Blackwatch, I'll let you know when the grilling's going to be.
All right. Signing off. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you.
You too.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so there was another session with Ken. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. The address is on the screen. If you'd like to send me an email to request a session, I'd love to deal with whatever topic that you're interested in getting on the air. So I hope this has been useful, and have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.